scale. Personal finance on Smooth 98.1.
All right, Lagos, it is well, now it is 17 minutes going to 5. You're tuned into Smooth 98.1. And today on personal finance, I love personal finance because it is always about money matters. It's not like Business Hub and Marketplace are about money matters, but it's a more personal um thing for me, and I'm sure it is for you as well. However, today on personal finance, we'll be talking about how we can earn money from content creation, and I'm definitely looking forward to having this conversation because it seems like that is the new gold. And if you do not know that by now, you need to go and look at Gege. That, see, I don't know how he's done it and gotten away with it till this. I won't say getting away, but how he's gotten this far because he had a um he well, he had a session, and I think it was reported that he had 41,000 live viewers that tuned in when he announced that he was going to be sharing some content. It's not just the amount of people that tuned in, it was the amount he earned in gifts during this live stream. Certain people also do certain things, but $30,000, I don't know how many people can say they have that. I say 9 to 5. You've been at your desk all day and you have not even clocked a quarter of what he's done for a month. I'm not saying that there are some no, so there are some levels to this thing, so let's not even kid ourselves. Um, you also have the likes of Javis and what's his name now? Ooh, his name skipped my mind. But yeah, these are people who are into content creation. And it's the weirdest things, the funniest things. Uncle Shaggy is also one of this. So my guest is going to be explaining or at least sharing insights as to how we can cash in. Because I want to cash in. I want to also make money from this thing. They cannot be the only ones enjoying this amount of money and largesse somewhere. And I'm just here. I should even market my laugh and smile. What do you think, Lagos? Anyways, sharing insights as to how much Gege can actually be making or how he is actually going about it is Enimien Inegbedion. Um, sorry, I'm going to take that. There was a funny thing about her name I said earlier on, but you know what? I'm just going to be reintroducing my guest. Her name is Enimien Inegbedion, and she's the founder of Arcadia School and Nimz Studio. Good evening, and good to
Good
have you with
evening. Hi, Joy. Nice to be here.
Thank you so much. Okay, so Gege is making this amount of money, and I'm here, and I'm wondering how come I'm not also cashing in on this? So, first question: what does one need to do to, make such big streaming numbers, and how is that even possible for someone, personality, Nigerian personality like Gege to be able to do that? Because some people say they even struggle to have two, three, and then he has this number. It's mind-boggling for me. Eventually, I think his last live stream had about 379,000 total viewers.
That's amazing. That's
I'm
amazing.
sure.
TikTok is the whole different world.
Oh, yes.
When you're talking about content creation, there's obviously we have all the different platforms, Instagram, Twitter,
Mhm.
Facebook, but TikTok seems to be, well, TikTok and YouTube seem to be the foremost in where you can make a lot of money,
Okay.
where you can monetize your content, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Because some people make a lot of money on Instagram in a different way. So this
Right.
content creation world is quite broad in the way that you make money. And so it's pick where you feel the most comfortable in. And I think a lot of people fall into, they kind of just like decide, okay, let me try this thing, and then they try different things, and then one thing just works.
It just
And
clicks.
what you find is that when you find a creator that is making a lot of money, they usually don't change the formula of what they're doing, right? So once you just find what works, you just recycle it in a different way every single time. You have people who are like skit makers, for example. You're not going to find skit makers doing a tutorial, for example, right? Because
No.
that's not what people came to them for. That's not what they love them for, right? So I think Gege, maybe he had an outburst once. I don't know how he started, and realized that his message is selling. So he can tell that he sticks to that content very, very closely. Talking about, guys and how they
And
can dump
ladies.
their women and and the Nigerian men are lapping it up. They love it. They're like, yes, somebody has come to help us and save us from these women who are taking all our money. And it's working for this generation. So I think his message really resonates with a lot of young men. And so you find that the men are interested, and obviously the women are going there to see what is he saying. So he's attracting even his enemies. Those ones
So to
that
speak.
the ones that don't like what he's saying, because the ones that like what he's saying. And we have a really huge youth market. We have, our
Yeah,
biggest
that
population is the
population
youth.
is that
Exactly. And
population is actually
so
one.
he's really tapped into his target market, and he really knows, the message that they want to hear, and he really harps on that message. And I think that's what's making him do well right now.
Okay, fair enough. But here's the thing. You would expect that, okay, with likes of Gege, you hear how certain people have to be articulate in pronunciation, in their way of speaking. But here's Gege. He speaks Pidgin English, and he seems to appeal to a large demographic of Nigerian population. Yeah, and one thing he's doing is advising on relationship and their finances. What do you make of how he's built his popularity? I like the fact that you said he knows what is selling right now and he's not deviated from it. But if
Mm-mm.
after you've done sessions, and here's me just thinking, okay, so you keep doing this, after what, wouldn't he fade away?
No, I don't think the message is unending, because people are trying to
Okay.
make money, right? Until you make that money, you will continue following the people that are teaching you how to make that money. So you're not going to you're not going to leave that person. And he can grow, like, yeah, you can start, like, it's a projection and it's a ladder. He's where he is now, but he's going to be moving on. So all the people who are behind him will climb to the next rung of the ladder, as he moves on to the next rung of the ladder. So they're following him and watching his trajectory as well. So the message is clear. It can never be said enough times, I believe. Relationships, I mean, there's so much to talk about in
Oh my
relationships.
goodness, let's not even
It's
get
never
into that
ending.
space.
It's never ending. I don't think that you can exhaust a conversation when it comes
Conversations
to
around.
relationships. Yes, you can't exhaust
Mm,
relationship, a conversation when it comes to finance. You can't exhaust a conversation when it comes to politics. There's certain things that you can sit down and have a continuous discussion about. So certain topics are actually like evergreen. You can keep on talking about them over and over and over again. And you can have like several thought pieces and several teachings that you can bring out from a particular genre that you choose. So it's never ending. I mean, look at somebody like Cab. I don't know if you know him. I think it's Cabby, or was it the guy
oh,
who the guy who doesn't talk.
mhm.
He doesn't talk. Like, you would think
But
that his content would have ended by now. It doesn't
mhm,
end.
but
People
he
just like the formula. Once you have
and
a
he just
formula,
and
yeah,
then he goes with
like,
it.
yeah, and that's it. So
And he's so
content does not
huge.
He's big. People love it, because you know why his content works as well. A lot of people can't speak, like, we believe, because we're in our little bubble. We think everybody speaks English. We think everybody speaks, fluently. We think everybody wants to have like an intelligent conversation. But Kabi is able to reach, I think it's Kabi, am I pronouncing it correctly? He's able to reach across audiences because he doesn't need to speak. So everybody understands him. His language is universal because he's not speaking. He's actually just using body language.
And it was just it just started out from okay, something It's something so simple. How come you don't understand? Open the cap. Do something.
Exactly.
It's just
And that
the
doesn't need
usual.
any language, And so if I'm French, if I speak Spanish, if I speak Japanese, like I can watch it and understand it. So my follower base will be larger than somebody who speaks. If there's a very big content creator that speaks Spanish today, I can't follow the person because I have no clue what they're on about. Yeah. So sometimes that language barrier, and I think that's why Gege is doing well with his broken English because a lot of Nigerians are not. If we want to do a survey, you're going to find that there are a lot more Nigerians who are not speaking this perfect English that we're thinking we need to speak, and a lot more people understand broken English than English. So, and then it's real, he's coming out, is his real authentic self. That's another thing. You can't come and start creating content and try and be somebody else. It has to be something that is really deep within you that you're bringing out. And this just seems like that's who he is. On a good day, if he sits down with his mates and his friends and whatever, this is who he's going to be authentically. And so people are always attracted to people who come from a place of
true self
and on authenticity. And so, I think when people are thinking of, what do I want to do as a content creator? Like what kind of content do I want to create? You really need to dig deep within yourself to say who am I?
And who's my
who do I
content
appeal
for?
to? Yeah, who do I appeal to? And stick to that. And honestly, there's content in every genre. Like you don't have to be a comedian. It's not only that. People talk about finance, people talk about beauty, people talk about entrepreneurship, people talk about starting businesses, people talk about
the mentors.
Obviously the comedians, motivational speakers, there's so many options out there, and in all those genres, there are people who go viral. So some people feel like, oh, it's just boring. I follow a girl recently that seems like, she just blew up. She's just telling her story from when she used to live in, I think it was it Port Harcourt, and she used to be like live near the river, like one of those like river girls, like grew up really poor, and now she's doing really well. And people just wanted to hear her story. Like, how did you get from, somebody who didn't
Grace literally that kind of story.
Exactly. And she just sits in front of the camera and she tells stories from her childhood. And she has blown up in the last 2 weeks or so. Her following has like 10x, just like that. She's being her authentic self. She's telling her story. And that's all she needed to do. So it's really, really staying true to who you are. And showing that to the people who will love you. And there's so many people in the world that you will find your audience, if you stick to it long enough. I think people also forget that, it takes time, and these people just don't blow up from nowhere. You have to be consistent. You have to do video after video after video. Even when you see 0 views, 1 view, 2 views, you have to continue. And that consistency, when you keep on showing up on people's feeds, is when they start to be interested in you, and the algorithm sort of works in your favor. But a lot of people, they'll do like 3 videos and then they'll stop.
And that's it. They'll chuck.
Like, it's not working.
It's not working. You said it, I will blow. I did not blow.
Exactly.
Anywho's, we're definitely going to be touching on how that money is being made. We have a quick breather coming through, but I would like it. So it was reported that he made, at least he earned about $30,000 worth of gifts during his last stream. We'll be talking about that.
Okay.
I don't know how that gifting works. So if it actually is true, stay sharing from that. Well, you know what? Let's take our breather when we get back and we'll understand. I need to know this if I'm going to be jumping into that very soon. All right, Lagos. I'm sure you're equally as eager to learn this as much as I am. So don't move a muscle. Stay here on Speed 98.1. The information and the knowledge doesn't stop. If Gege can be making $30, 30,000, who am I that? What am I doing with myself? Well, I cannot go and speak pidgin English.
No, that's not you now. So you won't go there.
Pidgin English will suck. It will literally sound like I'm counting my words. So I know that for certain that's not my forte. So I will leave it to Ogege to do his thing. Oh my goodness. I was stunned when I saw the numbers. I'm like, wait, what? Well, like you said,
You have to know your yeah. You have to
audience,
know your audience. Yeah, you
and
really have to.
boys are tired.
They are tired. They are so happy somebody is speaking for them. Ah,
They're tired.
they are so happy
They're
somebody is
looking for
speaking
a
on their
breather. They
behalf.
just found someone
Ah,
who just says, you know what, let me take it upon
as
myself
in,
to free you people. But really, I appreciate certain things he says, but it's not all true. It's not all true.
yeah.
Okay, let's get back in. Oh my days. Oh, but perchance, did you see there was a video that went viral where a girl almost broke her boyfriend. I don't want to ever believe that that's a skit. She broke the fan and was about to break the TV if he hadn't turned off watching Gege.
Oh wow, really?
It was really, I was gobsmacked
I
when I saw
haven't seen
that.
that. Oh, I haven't seen that. Wow.
Mm.
It could be a skit, Sha.
I
I don't
hope so.
believe anything these days. These days, there's nothing is real again these days, man. You just be like, ah. No, wow.
We're living our lives for the camera right now.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness. All right, Lagos. Yes, you tune in to Personal Finance here on Smooth 98.1. If you're just tuned in, well, you've been missing out. We're thinking of how we want to expand, how we want to blow. And if you're thinking about content creation, if that's your way to go, well, I hope you have the right, you have all that you need. And if you don't know yet or how to go about it, my guest is definitely giving insights on the things you need to do and how you also can be blowing and getting $30,000. I keep seeing this three and I keep imagining in my head, okay, so how am I going to convert it to now? That's all I keep thinking. How am I going to convert it? What? Anyways, yes. So, anyway, let's get into this money thingy. We've talked about knowing who your audience is and how to connect with them, but if Gege is able to earn 30,000 naira, $30,000, beg your pardon, worth of gifts,
Yeah.
how then does how what is this gifting thing and how does it convert to cash, or is this just fictitious? I don't know. Some people say,
No, it's
okay,
not fictitious at all.
I'm giving you this, I'm giving you this. Is
It's
it
not
true? Is it
fictitious at
real?
all. Yeah. So a lot of these gifts, and I'm not an avid TikTok person, but I
Okay.
do know that
There are
on
other
TikTok
I know that Instagram also has gifting options or tipping
that they've
options.
started doing tipping options,
Yeah.
which is different from the TikTok, I think. So what
Mm.
happens with TikTok is that you buy these gifts as a consumer. So I go online, I buy roses or I buy coins and things like that. And then I'm able to give them to somebody during a live. And
Okay.
that person receives it in their own creator account, in their own bank balance. And then TikTok takes a percentage of the gift,
Okay.
right? So if you're watching a live, you'll see like roses and you'll see all sorts of things flying across the screen.
Right.
And that's people just like dashing dashing you money for the life. They're enjoying it so much that they went and they took their hard-earned cash and they bought
And
these things
converted it.
and they're giving it to you as a gift, and then you receive it as a creator. And so that's one way of making money on TikTok. That's through the live streaming. There's also the creator economy, which I'm not sure is open to Nigeria at the moment. There's some countries that have access to that, where you make money from streaming. So according to how many hits you get on your page, or how many video views you get, you're also able to get some money. So some people are making money in many different ways. On TikTok as well, you can sell courses, There's so many ways that you can make money on TikTok.
Awesome.
On YouTube, you get video, you get money from views. So
Okay.
the more views you get, the more money you make at the end of the month. Somebody like a Mark Anthony, and I think you do know Mark Anthony.
Yes,
He's
yes,
so
yes, yeah.
popular all over the world.
Mhm.
I went to Jamaica a few years ago, and when I
Okay.
got there were people who were like avid watchers of Jamaicans, avid watchers of Mark Anthony. They were showing me his videos that, because I don't usually watch him, I once in a while, but I don't go on YouTube to watch Mark Anthony. But I mean, he has an international following, and he makes a crazy amount of money. Some of these kit makers are making $300,000 a month, $400,000 a month, 500,000. Like they're making a
A
killing
killing.
quietly in their house, just making content, and people are watching. So on Instagram, a lot of influencers get like influencer deals. So
Okay.
somebody will pay you to put out a video on your page, or a post on your page about their business or about their brand. Um, and then they pay you for that. So they pay in advance. So a lot
Okay.
of money made on Instagram is made in that way, as well as TikTok. I
But
think on
but
Facebook they get these roses and these things as well. I've seen
mm,
on some lives on Facebook, like when you go on NSPPD, for example, you see people who are you see people throwing roses and things like that as well. So I think they have a similar thing.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So, here's the thing I wanted to quickly find out. Does one need to have different, um, or multiple presence on different platforms as is it essential as a creator? Do you need to have uh your content on all platforms?
I think that you need to be strong on one platform before you think
Mm,
about touching any other platform. So find one that is home first of all, and do well on that before you move on to the others, because it's actually quite time consuming. And sometimes some content can't be repurposed for another platform. Instagram to YouTube is not too bad. If you do reels and things like that, you can post your I'm sorry, Instagram to TikTok. So you can post your TikToks on Instagram. But
okay.
sometimes they don't just flow across. So you have to make different types of content for different platforms, and it can get very overwhelming very quickly.
Mm,
So it's best that you find one where you become quite
and stick
comfortable
with it.
in. And then as you grow, you can even have like, somebody help you to manage some of the platforms, but really it's a lot of
Mm.
work. Yeah.
Now, talking about managing, I've heard so many people say, oh, as a content creator, you need a social media manager. How important is this? Are they truly needed? Because on one hand, they charge fees, which eats actually into your earnings as a creator.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, they seem to be able to help you organize your
Yeah.
content output. So,
Not only that, for example, the influencers on Instagram, for example, sometimes you need somebody to connect you with the brands. And there's some people who are managers, they're like, influencer managers. And this management company will ensure that you're always kept busy with work. They'll send you proposals, and they'll send proposals out to the brands as well about you.
okay.
So it takes a village sometimes to do these things. But I think when you start out, you definitely don't need anybody. I think it's even good to understand how these things work. So by the time you do it yourself, in case your manager decides to dump you one day, let it not be
Oof.
that that's the end of your business. So it's good to know, so that in any case, you're able to survive with or without a manager.
What's your take on having content creation as a full-time work? Is that something that should it be
Oh, there's so
full-time
many
work or should it be
full-time.
side hustle?
There's so many full-time content creators, so many, but that's after you blow. I don't think that if you have not blown, I think you should manage yourself carefully.
Okay, okay.
Because it's not nice to be broke in any field. You don't want to be a broke content creator. You don't want to be a broke side hustler either. You don't just you have to I think a lot of the good advice that I've heard a lot of times is that, okay, you have a 9 to 5, that
Right.
now when you get home, do all the other things. When that becomes big enough to sustain you, then you
Yes,
can
now
then switch
branch out.
over to full-time and then make that your full-time job.
Mm.
But I know that obviously some people are finding it very hard to get work. You know, you have applied to so many places, you apply over and over and over again, you're getting rejection left, right, and center. And you're like, oh, let me try this content creator thing. It may work, it may not work, but you know, it's something to do.
You
At
still
least
have
you're
something,
keeping yourself
yeah.
busy. Yeah, you're keeping yourself busy, you're trying your best. But there's nothing that beats having a salary, you know, till the time as when your side hustle or your content creation business is doing much better.
So many questions and so little time, but I'll get into as much as I can. And here's a question I want to actually get. So, as a content creator, whether full-time or part-time, it is something that you look forward to, but let's even look at it from the side hustle perspective, because some people have said that you can't be successful. Well, you can't have a successful side hustle without being online. How true is that?
What would I say with that? I think that for me, I always believe that the biggest marketing platform, whatever you call it, is word of mouth. So I don't really know. It's not all businesses that can be promoted online initially. I think online is good for awareness. Online is good for people to stumble across you every now and then. But that's
shouldn't be your end all and be all.
It shouldn't be. It's an enhancer in a way. But people should be able to speak about your business and promote you live. And it's in those, in those WhatsApp groups, it's in those those homes, in those businesses where you say, oh, please, do you know anybody that can do? And the person will say, yes, so I have a friend who does this. So I know somebody that I used the other day and she did a great job, and they will recommend you. But if I see you online, I've never met you before, I don't know who you are, it'll take me a while to decide, whether or not to use you. I might even go and ask my friends, do you know this person? Have you ever used this person before? So word of mouth is actually king before all these other things. But honestly, social media can enhance and, give you some visibility, and then it gives you a little bit more credibility as well. If I say, oh, check out this girl who I used for my makeup the other day, and you say, please, can I have a handle? And you go on her Instagram page and you see her hand. So that gives you a lot more confidence. And you can also see the kind of work that the person does and say, okay, yeah, this aligns with what I'm looking for. So it gives you that professional edge, and it gives you visibility. But really and truly, people should be able to speak about you. Word of mouth is
before
key.
They actually say, okay, you're online. Okay. As a 9-to-5er, one always talks about work-life balance, but where do you now put work-life balance with your extra hustle? How does that even work? There's
no
work-life balance.
I think people should kill that work-life balance discussion, I beg. I think that work-life balance discussion is that was for later. When you retire, you can balance. Make your money now while you're alive, while you're awake. Also,
they will come for you.
And people say if you do something you love, like you don't feel like you're
you never
working.
feel like,
You don't feel like you're working. I mean, it's still hard work, but it's not something that is killing you. So I think that if you're doing a side hustle, it should be something that you're passionate about. Not always. Some people are passionate about money. So if the work is hard and I'm making money, that's still a passion. So it depends on how you look at it.
I see
So,
what you mean.
If you're going to sit down on a live for 30 minutes and make $30,000, doesn't matter how difficult that life is, I will sit down there. Whatever time you want me to sit down, I will sit.
Sitting down in a spot for 30 minutes non-stop, just okay.
Is that not what you're doing now?
Well, I'm having a conversation and it's fun.
That's what you're doing. You might as well get $30,000 for it.
I might as well get, honestly though. So indeed, I should start marketing this.
I know.
Oh my days.
The work-life balance is I feel like it's a myth. I think that, work as hard as you can when you can, because there'll be a time that will come that you can't
You
work.
wouldn't
So
even be able to. And
yeah.
finally, before I let you go, we have more unemployed. Yeah, because let's be honest, with the data that's out there, we have more unemployed people, and every day in, day out, you have graduates that are coming, and we have the youths out there right now. And it keeps me wondering, how can we monetize monetize this? Because with our economy, we have growing youth population. Is there a way to make sure that is there a way to create a platform where they can find themselves making multiple streams of income as opposed to looking for the regular 9 to 5 jobs, such as content creation? Is that
Yeah,
something
I mean,
that they can branch into?
there's several platforms that, you know, you can join as a freelancer, to
Mm,
be able to use some of your skills to make money. Over the
okay.
lockdown, I joined Fiverr just as an experiment.
Oh,
It's called
okay.
Fiverr.com, Fiverr, I think,
Mm-hmm.
.com.
Mm-hmm.
And I joined them just as jokes, I said, let me see what I can do. I made $1,000 during the lockdown on Fiverr.
Only,
Yeah,
only,
so
okay.
only I wasn't being as, I wasn't being as I would work in here and there and
Consistent with it.
do
Okay.
small things here and there, because Fiverr literally started as you would charge $5 for your work, do
Mm,
you get? But now you
yeah.
can charge slightly more. So it's not there to make you a millionaire, but you can make, side income. Like
Something tight.
if you make
Mhm.
$1,000 a month, it's something that can tide you over. So I think it's something that our youth should definitely look into. We can even try and create a Nigerian platform that is similar to Fiverr, where people like there are different kind of skills. If you're a content writer, if you're a social media manager, if you can if you can edit pictures, it's a lot of
Mm. It takes a
skills
lot.
that, yeah, like
Mm.
if you're a programmer, if you can do up a website, there's so many options there. So there are platforms like that where you can go on to and advertise your skills and make money on the side, and you can take as much work or as little work as you want as well. So the platforms like that you can get onto. I think that content creation is obviously great if you can make it in content creation, if you find a community that loves you and loves your content. But you can't take away from the skills and the talents that God has given you. So for example, I am a photographer, so I get photography work, and that sustains me, even in the months where I'm not
Nothing else comes
working or
through.
anything like that. Exactly. At least if I have one photography job, or two or three, they tied me over. So God has given you a talent, or something that
You
you
just
can
have to
do. You
hone it.
just need to figure out what that is. What your passions are, your likes are, and see if there's something that matches with that, and then you can use that as your side hustle. There's so many side hustles people are doing. Fashion, making clothes. People are making money from fashion.
Let's not
Nigerians
get
love
into the
fashion.
let's not get into those
Fashion and
things.
beauty and
You
food.
see those things? They're expensive.
They're getting expensive. So there's a market for people who can make things that are affordable as well. You don't have to always be the person doing
Well,
expensive
you
things.
want to look the one of the one. So, there's the 1% of the 1% that you want to. Oh,
Not
those are
true.
the
There's so many. See somebody like a Gege now. He's appealed to the masses, right? So if you make
ah.
clothes that 1 million people will buy, as opposed to making one dress that one person will buy, I'm not sure. They're two very different things. So you find your market
Mm,
and find what works for you.
okay.
That's what I believe. Yeah, I don't think that everybody has to be doing haute couture. They call it, and making really expensive things. There are people who are looking for normal price things,
You're right.
and then you can do that, yeah. So food, I know that food is doing really well.
Oh yeah,
um
there's so many of them.
yeah,
Yogavasi and the likes.
beauty does
Mm.
well as well, and then fashion, tech obviously is doing
Oh
very well
yeah.
as well. So there are many opportunities. Yeah, there are
Well, we
many
could go on
opportunities.
and on and on.
We could.
But yes, time's of the essence. So, before I let you go, how can people reach out to you for anyone who's looking to for guide on how they can blow? maybe I'll be coming to your DMs very soon. So
Yeah,
how
they
do
can
we reach out to you?
my social media page is Nimz Social, NIMZSOCIAL, Nimz Social. And
Okay.
on there you can check out my links, and yeah, I have a newsletter that you can also sign up to and
All
get more
right.
information. Yes, on content creation.
Anyway, thank you so much today. It's been
Thank you for
such
having
an
me.
amazing time. I
Time
honestly
just
wish.
flew. That was such
Honest,
a
yeah. It's also a good thing that I think I'm not going to, but on the other side, I know I'm going to get some insights as to why did it go so long? But anyways, it was
Oh
great
no.
conversation.
Okay. All right.
All right. So have yourself a pleasant evening. And
Thank you.
Lagos, you know you don't want to even move a muscle. There's so much more lined up for you. And it's going to be insightful as always. All right, we'll catch you up on the other side. Great music coming through. Hey, Dean, Renee.
Okay.
Your earnings, your
Honestly, I've gone way over time.
I didn't know. Oh my gosh. We were
Like,
enjoying our gist.
honestly.